What if I tell you that California is fighting right now to keep power over what you drive? And if they win, it could destroy car culture as we know it. Because it isn't just about California anymore. Because if CARB wins and they stay in power, their control with Stellantis, Ford, GM, pretty much any automaker can sell, even if you don't live in California. And now things just got even more crazier because Congress has now stepped in with lawmakers trying to introduce a bill to block California's EV mandates. So today we're going to break down why California's CARB fight is a big problem for car enthusiasts, what is happening in the Supreme Court, and how this new bill could stop CARB before it is way too late. The weather's warming up, which means it is time to bring your favorite ride out of hibernation. And what better way to kick off the season than by saving up to 15% off on the top aftermarket accessories for your muscle car, pony car, truck, or SUV. My friends at Just Bolt-Ons and DragRacingWheels.com have you covered. Use my promo code BUTTER at checkout, and if you need some sticky Mickeys, you got till March 31st to save up to $100 on a set of tires. So don't wait, hit up my friends at Just Bolt-Ons and DragRacingWheels.com, where the best deals online just got even better. So over 40,000 friends and the 65% of you guys not subscribe. For those of you who don't know, CARB, the California Air Resources Board, is a state agency that sets its own extreme emissions rules more restrictive than the rest of the country. But here's the crazy part. Under a waiver in the Clean Air Act, that California can enforce the EV mandates on the 17 other states that chose to adopt their same standards. That means that nearly 40% of the US population is affected just by California's own rules. The Clean Air Act is a US federal law that regulates air pollution by setting national air quality standards and controlling emissions from sources like vehicles. Now, California has a waiver under this act, allowing it to enforce stricter vehicle emission standards than federal levels, which is granted by the EPA due to the state's severe pollution problem, especially in areas like Los Angeles. But when automakers are forced to comply with one state's demands, they have to kill off gas-powered cars, trucks, and other affordable vehicles because of one state's stringent requirements to make it hard for ICE vehicles to meet their regulations. They jack up prices to pay for EV developments, leading to price spikes like the Ram TRX going from $69,000 base price to over $90,000 in less than 4 years with basically zero updates. And they have to make CARB-approved vehicles for everyone, even if your state never voted for those rules, which adds costs to everyone paying for R&D, sensors, emissions equipment, and more service appointments to clean your engine out because of carbon buildup.
It forces you to make the tough calls, and we literally adjust our plan on a monthly basis based on where we see the trajectory of compliance. Ram's a really good example of that. If we had that safety blanket of buying credits, we would still be building and selling the ancient iron block Hemi V8 that everybody loves. Knowing that we're going into this environment have forced us into a space where we had to develop a whole new powertrain strategy. A very high-tech twin-turbo 3-liter Hurricane that's going to actually give much better performance and be much more efficient and more flexible in the future. We wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for those regulations. So it's a long way to say, yes, it's super tough, but the CEO, he burned our boats, and we're forced to make the tough calls to make sure that we're on a trajectory towards the long-term compliance. The bigger enabler to all of that is no one knows what's going to happen, with the regulatory environment if there's a change in administration.
This is how they push an EV mandate nationwide without even needing a law from Congress to do so. They just use California as a backdoor, making it next to impossible for automakers to keep up with changing standards every few years. Right now, California's Attorney General Rob Bonta and 17 other attorney generals around the country are fighting in the US Supreme Court to keep CARB's special Clean Air waiver. They want to give only California the power to dictate to the rest of the United States their mandate of banning gas cars by 2035, forcing automakers to build EV-only lineups, and punish tuners, truck owners, and performance car fans. If they win this case, CARB basically keeps the power to control what cars are sold in the United States, even though they are just one state and the rest of us have no say in what 14 members of the CARB board wants to do. 12 of those members were appointed by California's current governor. Just saying.
Seriously.
No more V8s, no more V10s, no more V12s, no more Ram TRXs, already gone. No more Hellcats, already gone. No more Mustangs, too expensive. Hurricanes, the next generation version of that car went from V10 down to a V8. No more Camaros, already gone. No more gas-powered Jeeps, off-road vehicles. No more diesel trucks. Car culture as we literally know it is being eliminated by 14 Californians at the stroke of a pen.
Now, if that wasn't enough, and you're really paying attention.
But a group of lawmakers in Congress had just introduced a bill to block California's strict rules that affect every automaker's ability to make cars that we enjoy. Congress fighting back because at the last minute, California was granted their brand new waiver by the previous administration that was voted out. I'm just stating facts here. So now a bunch of lawmakers in the House and the Senate are going to reintroduce a bill actually today to block California's EV mandate. They argue that California's rules disrupt supply chains and drive the costs for everyone. If passed, this law will stop California from forcing mandates on the rest of the country. To stop California from advancing the Regulatory Burden Act, that's pretty funny because that basically stands for CARB, which they're trying to get rid of. But it basically amends the Clean Air Act by eliminating California's authority to set its own vehicle emission standards through federal waivers. It also seeks to prevent other states from adopting California standards by repealing the Section 177 of the Act. Additionally, the bill proposes to invalidate any existing waivers previously granted to California, thereby centralizing vehicle emission standards authority at the federal level. Because if CARB stays in power, like I said earlier, you can kiss affordable V8s goodbye. You basically have turbo 4-cylinders, electric only cars that would be your only options. You want to modify your car, you can basically say goodbye to your exhaust, your tuning, and even your wheels if they affect emissions. Stellantis, Ford, GM, Volkswagen, BMW, you name it, all of them will be forced to make California approved cars for everyone. Most people do not want an EV mandate. EV demand is failing. Ford, GM, and Stellantis are all losing billions of dollars making these EVs after being forced to. Ram, for example, they lost 16% market share after killing off their Hemi V8 engine because of regulations. And assume the last administration that pushed automakers to go all in on this EV nonsense, once it was safe from those people who got voted out, all those same companies who went EV first and all these EV commitments, they all basically pushed back, said it was a mistake to do so, and all of them basically scaled back their EV operations because they were losing billions of dollars. The market wants engines, not EVs, because everyone's lifestyle has no room for $80,000 to $150,000 electric vehicles. They glitch, can't go far, can't tow far, and they're just not it.
Seriously, to make sure everyone is taken care of. Now,
so hopefully the Supreme Court ends this nonsense California trying to pull to stop other states from actually suing them because of this one waiver. And then Congress, who we actually elect, they actually pass a bill to stop California's mandates being pushed on everyone else. It doesn't make sense to me that a state that I have no influence in, I can't vote for nobody in that state, I can't vote for their governor, I can't vote for anybody on that board. Those are the same people going to try to tell me what I can drive on the other side of the country. It just doesn't make sense and it's not fair. But what do you guys think? Do you think CARB should have that much power to dictate what the entire country drives and basically force manufacturers to lose billions of dollars and jack up vehicle prices for everyone else in the country? Would you buy a V8 Hemi tomorrow if Stellantis brought it back in your Dodge, Jeep, or Ram product and it was actually cheaper and actually more reliable because of all the nonsense that CARB forced these manufacturers to put in those vehicles? Should Congress pass this bill to block California's mandates and ensure that one state can't dictate what everyone else does? Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section, and until the next time, I'm out.